Alright, so I'm doing the devlogs in two parts now. One is more game design's velocity, and the other is the mechanical one. This is the mechanical one. Just gonna break down a couple of my favorite mechanics from the game, or these past two levels. This is gonna incur a little bit of spoilers, but not too much. I'm gonna be focusing on the more different ones that were more interesting. Like, I made a lot of different not so interesting ones, like this checkpoint system and even these lights and a whole bunch of other stuff. So I'm gonna start out with the key fob. I had the special item button that works for the key fob and the camera, but on different levels, and I think I'm probably going to use them in different levels, so just hook back in. Don't want them to be valid on other levels. So this is a bunch of stuff about whether or not you're holding down the button or pressing the button. So if you're doing a hold, it's basically just going to bring up the key fob with the numbers and update them with the two different types of car trunks. The main objective one, you need to progress the story, and side objectives that contain resources. This is let go if you are looking at it, and this is let go if it wasn't a hold. It's like a certain amount of time is a hold. Here we go for our traces. One is for the regular trunks, and one is for the special ones. So let's take a look at the trace. Get the key fob. I'd be a bit slow. OBS slows things down. Okay, so notice that my hitbox is a square. That's so I don't get things. It also stays upright. So it's by my camera rotation. That's so I don't scan the ones upstairs, even if I'm jumping. And so if you have an object like this that reacts to the, well, it's invisible. Not all the cars have it. This key fob, it get closer. See, that's that one. Visible box here that reacts to it, and it produces the grenade, and then it updates to the next closest car trunk. Alright, so that one's pretty simple. These cars were quite a thing. Now I understand that this is pretty janky because I'm using this capsule just for its movement. The Unreal system is kind of weird about that sort of thing. Yeah, and I have a bunch of hitboxes. I have this upper hitbox to keep you from standing on the car, because you can't really do anything if you have it there. If you're standing on it, you get damage over the time. This is the forward spears that stab you when it rams you. And this is a launch arrow to give it a, like, it wouldn't launch quite right if it doesn't do a bit of a jump. Anyway, so let's get into that. Yeah, so we have two attacks, random, doing all our warning stuff. Then after a bit of a delay, we're doing our actual ramming, which is a bit of a launch. We'll get into these differences a bit. Then we set up the next attack. It does also have a spear attack, but that's not really too different from the Invader 2s that I already did. The guys with the glowy heads, they shoot you. So the car does clip through things, but it does it even worse if you don't align it to the ground. So we have this loop going. That makes it look like the car is aligned to the ground. Some offsets for the weirdness of the model. This whole launching is about it being on a slope or not, which really caused a whole bunch of problems that I eventually figured out. See, launch arrow slope and give it a lot more upward velocity when it's on a slope. Let's see it in action. There's our regular ram. That's doing the projectiles. Over here. Good boy. To the ram. To the ram. Good boy. Yeah, see, that still looks kind of janky. But like it simply wasn't. But it simply just wasn't doing any bit of a RAM at all, so you could really cheese it before. Anyway, so yeah. So now it's alright. Another thing was I added that bounce back you saw, which keeps you from like staying inside of it, and it also helps to not pin you against the wall. Now I can walk over the... I said it helps, it doesn't completely fix the problem. See, otherwise, it's a lot easier to get pinned against the wall if we don't have that launching thing. I'm still really hoping people don't find this frustrating, even leaving in this little message here to remind them you're supposed to use the dash to get out of the way of the car. On to the next thing. Next I'm going to cover the camera. Now what's interesting about the camera is that it has a lot of different types of functions. You see a lot of these around, and these are trails that are supposed to lead you to these, and all these are hidden in game and the camera reveals them. There's also special types of dialogues I have where they have hitboxes as well, and that brings up special dialogue. I also have these invisible bridges, that is until you hit them with the camera. I also have like these doors that have the inverted effect where they disappear when you take a picture, and there's a resource behind it. There's not too many of those, there's a bit more secret. So a lot of stuff we missed in a big cut because I forgot how this works. Anyway, this is where we're actually taking the picture. We have the camera flash and the sound. Then we have this capture component, which has a post-process material on it and is setting, so it's setting this texture sample, which sets the material, which sets this material, which is on a picture that you actually see. The post-process material filter is pretty simple. Dyed green within a certain depth and dyed blue within a certain depth. This is our scan. Search for camera objects and special camera objects. This is for if you are interacting with a side quest. It's a little alert message saying that I made that's not very interesting. Anyway, so that's pretty simple. So let's go see it in action. So we have our big, pretty much encompasses your entire view and only goes to a certain distance. Camera, see it's turning on the camera object. We'll hit this. Also hit for dialogue in that. You see if we're upstairs, it's also affecting these bridges. And as you see, it also affects the inverted doors. Alright, so we have this bullet gate puzzle where you gotta shoot the buttons, and you can see some more buttons, and then eventually the gate opens. Once you press the buttons in order with your bullets, so the code is pretty simple. You have this play, stop, and reverse for the door, and we also have this thing that says the light states for blinking, green, and not on. Anyway, scans all 4 bullets, sets the light states, and does this thing dependent on whether you've shot the next light or not. If you haven't got the next one, it goes back. So that's pretty simple. Let's see that in action. There we go. Anyway, a little joke on video game puzzles. Alright. So next thing is, I had this elevator. I'm not even really going to show the code, it's not that interesting. Just found the solution for part of it kind of interesting. Is, see, this has actually teleported me, and I'm hiding a teleport right there. That's pretty obvious. But I think what's a little more interesting is that, see, this black void here is actually the elevator. I can barely see that, I'm sorry. Anyway, so see, that's actually the elevator, and it looks like a dark void. But if you come over here to the starting elevator, you'll see that this does not look like a dark void. In fact, it's very light. Using this void material I have, it was firstly for this, but it found to be a pretty good solution to, when you turn off the lights in a regular way, you'll see that it's not actually pitch dark because of the directional light, and how, for whatever reason, light just comes in anyway. I'm using those materials after the lights supposedly come on. The materials are set to the regular elevator materials. The doors outside, like, don't exist the first time you use it. That's why you can see those doors. Yeah, and so the fact that this material doesn't react with light at all is also helpful for the flashlight, because I constantly have a flashlight going. So that was a little interesting trick. So that's pretty much all I want to talk about for my new mechanics. Please check out the demo for the game. It's been updated recently. And also, please check out the full game when it comes out. Thank you to anyone who likes, comments, or subscribes. That's it.